Bob, today is a momentous day.
A momentous day. It's the 28th of March, Tuesday 28th of March. We're in Castletroy Park opposite University of Limerick, which we will go across to at 2 o'clock for a very special occasion, the launch of our uncle John E Moloney scholarship.
And he was behind the setting up of the University of Limerick.
The background to John E Moloney was born in Thomagate in Limerick in 1914. He had 4 sisters, no brothers. His dad died in 1918. His mum, who was from Lochray in County Galway, Bridget Morrissey, died in 31. So basically they were orphans, the 5 children were orphans. In 1933 he did Leaving Cert in Limerick CBS. One of the people who got first place in Ireland got a scholarship to University College Dublin, basically because of his status as an orphan. He really couldn't afford to go there. So this started him then to think about having a university locally. That year in 33 he sat the HEO exam, Higher Executive Officers, came first place again in Ireland and joined Customs and Excise in Limerick. Now we move on then to 1953, when he was still a very young man, and he decided that he would start out research about why Limerick didn't have a university and going about getting one. In 1959, a committee was formed, basically of which he was appointed as chairman, a mixture of Limerick CBS past pupils from Mungo College, which was the judges' college, and a big backing from, of all people, the ICMSA, the Irish Creamery Milk Supply Association, who I suppose felt that their children were not getting access to education, having had to go to Galway, Cork or Dublin. So from 1959 until 1972 he and his fellow committee members battled with various government departments and achieved the status of NIHE, National Institute of Higher Education. He accepted that but was never satisfied with the status because the degrees were being granted by NUI universities, in other words the other universities excluding Trinity. So another battle lasted for 17 years in which he led delegations to meet 7 different ministers of education. Finally yielded dividends in the sense that they got full university status in 1989. Now, sadly for him, he was there for the announcement of the university status, but he died a couple of months later that year, and the work was then carried on by various people. The biggest thing he also did, and he spoke to us as a family a lot about it, was the appointment of Dr. Ed Walsh, a 29-year-old Corkman who was a professor in Virginia Tech in America, to be the first president. And Dr. Walsh stayed on as president for the next 40-50 years, only retiring. He's still alive and only retiring in the last few years. Now, the reason I got involved was this man, our uncle, but that's beside the point. He was such I suppose an icon in Limerick as a young person, was never honoured by University of Limerick. So we got into negotiations with the president of the college and so forth and so on, and hence the first thing we wanted was scholarship for a very bright pupil who could not afford to go to university, and this is the culmination of this today. On the 13th of June, the university are also going to honour the family. His daughter Nuala Gavin is the only surviving sibling of 3. His 2 sons, Norbert and Donald, sadly have both died. and she will be honoured by Professor President Kirsten May, who will present her with the first presidential medal in honour of her father and his achievements. So for all the family, it will be a wonderful day that day also.
Thank you very much.
Okay.